los cielos, tejiendo un nuevo mundo, con tu arcito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan a todo, con tu arcito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan a todo. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Curandero poderoso, purificando, curando todo. Guías amorosas cuidando. Están restaurando el equilibrio. Prisumbro pintando la selva con amor, con colores del universo. Colibrí zumbró pintando la selva con amor, con colores del universo. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na.
Good morning, everybody. Grand Rising, Kiantamo, Halito, Hiyoko, in every language. Greetings in every language. Finally glad to be back on a good note, right? Finally glad to be back in my energy, right? In my good form. Um, I've been promoting this book for a while. This has been a project. I consider it a surface project. What that means is that anyone can read it and use it as teaching points and use it as the way to help, or a way to help liberate their family. But being so great, or being a great teacher, I tend to come off as, damn, he's preaching to me, right? So one can attempt to try to force their family into the book, not understanding that, hey, being ancient is being ancient. Attempting to modernize what was ancient into today's world is going to lead to conflict, right? So when what I talk about, as opposed to a lot of other people, they deal with time periods that you can go to, right? The early 1900s, 1800s, 1700s, and they'll dibble and dabble in that. But this blood over here, speaking for me and mine, is so ancient that I have to take it back to a place that only the scientists can deal with it. And it takes a true scientist to understand what's actually going on. Now, there's usually a conflict between the scientists and the rest, and the indigenous people. And here's the conflict. Scientists don't know the story. So when they see things that they can't explain, it becomes mythology. This is why the green book is called ontology. And I want to give respect to Dr. Malachi York, because for his Nuwapians ontology of time, that book is light years ahead of what anyone is teaching. So being a student of his, someone that came into that as a child, I say, you know what? My people have their own form of ontology. They have their own sciences. And now these sciences are starting to be uncovered by Europeans. So there are a few points in my book that I am going to touch on. If any of you have any questions when dealing with the East or the Eastern Woodlands, whatever you want to call it, Yupaha, please ask those in the comments. Please, what's going on? Please ask those in the comments. The final thing that we speak on today, there is a flash sale. So the book is $50 on Amazon. Today I'm practically giving them away for $25 plus the shipping. They won't be in packages. Those beautiful people that did buy packages, theirs was $40 or $50. Depending on when they bought them, it came with the beads and all of that good stuff. If you do need a package, then it will go up there. But today and today only, there's a flash sale of the Blue Fire, and it is just $25. So to open up the text, if you have the book, please open it up. If you don't, again, you got to get it. Whoever comes on into the panel. Drop the link, so if you want to actually join the panel, you can come in. So book one, I'm not able to turn this around. So this is the text. So you all can see. So this is the book, right? Now, in book one, which is called, uh, and they flipped it on one page, but Wali E Diha, right? Now, you can pronounce this differently, but if you speak Hichiti proper, it's on one page. If you speak Muskogee on the next on another page, and if you speak Makasaki, which is a different dialect of Hichiti proper, you'll find it again. So let's get it. Sip water. So the ancient ones, historically known as Wale, existed on this land for at least 50,000 years. Today, the Topper site is just one site that conceals these secrets. Lead anthropologist Dr. Albert Goodyear currently has a display of pre-Clovis artifacts held at USC Sakuhachi. At the site, Dr. Goodyear and his team found charcoal and burnt plant remains and an indication of fire use by the ancient Americans. Radiocarbon dates. So let's talk about radiocarbon dates. So radiocarbon dating suggests these materials are 20,000 years old. Uh, Pushing back the timeline of human presence in the Americas according to other scientific reports. Then there's a picture of a knife and an arrowhead that was found at the site by Dr. Albert Goodyear and his students. So, in addition, there are deeper layers at the site which produce small stone artifacts that researchers date as far back as 50,000 years minimum. Okay, let me see. Minimum. All right. This pre-Clovis settlement predates the migration from Asia across the Bering Straits by 20 to 30,000 years. So I got a question about this part. Someone asked, why did I say 20 to 30,000 years? And it's because of this reason. When Europeans usually date things, they date off of their information, right? So there are definitely older people or people that crossed over from Asia before that 13,000 year mark. What you will notice is there's a trend, right? It's a trend. They always, tend to push their dates back once they get new information, right? Excuse me. So let's go. Let's see. It also predated the out of Africa theory, which was recently changed to 60 to 7,000 years ago. The migrating Clovis people became the Algic, Algonquin, or Algonquian groups, as told in the Walaum, because there are two groups. And actually, three different groups. This is why it's written that way. The Walla explains the migrations of these groups from their original homeland in Asia, Turtle Island. To understand the ancients that birth Wale, we must attempt to understand their daily lives. Our ancient ones ate of the sea, along with terrestrial mammals, wild rice, potatoes, beans, berries, roots, and a variety of squash. In what is called morphology, the descendants of the Ubaha no longer appeared as their ancestors. The shapes of the crane, bone density, and their teeth all had changed. Clark Spencer Larson has dedicated himself to the work on the chronology of the skeletons of the Wale. Oh, and the skeletons of the Wale, excuse me. Before AD 1000, the coastal people had little to no contact with maize. The Mississippians brought this crop with them, which will be explained later on in this chapter. Maize lack essential amino acids that are required for proper growth and development. Wale bone analysis showed that maize began to weaken the prehistoric inhabitants, making them more susceptible to disease. Mission farmers of the 1600s had 20 times the dental caries, while these were almost non-existent in prehistory. Maize is a carbohydrate with sufficient amounts of sugar. Over time, the overconsumption of maize causes acid erosion of the enamel, Mickey red crane. Late prehistoric Wale populations displayed indications of iron deficiency, along with anemia, owing to the addition of maize in the diet. According to Dove Press, of those tested for anemia, Negro Americans were 46.9%, while Asians were 19%. The science is clear. One is even able to judge age, sex, and even if the people had encountered a famine. You can find this in Bioarchaeology of the Prehistoric Wale. That's an actual book. Go get it. Now, there's a story that we share, the maize woman. We're at number 26. A famine was ended by a woman with corn on her toes. This only confirms that this was a crop received through trade. Uncle Ant, you know exactly what I'm talking about with that story. Now, the Arctic period dugout canoes, right, or dugout boats are found in Wale territory. These date to over 4,000 years in age. Our ancestors used cedar, pine, redwood, and oak to make larger boats. When trips were to cross large bodies, they often attached these. So everything I'm saying, you can look it up. There are over 100-foot canoes that were attached to each other to go back and forth from the Yucatan Peninsula and the Gulf, right? That Gulf Coast area. Kawi, the ancestry of the Panthera, Athrax, and Leo, comma, the mother of the rhinoceros originated here. These are two sentences as one. The Kawi is the ancient panther, the water cat. It's the mother to the Panthera athrax. The tapir, which we will find later, is the mother to the rhino or the tapir, right? Or the tapir, depending on dialect. Now, I'll say this. This is why one has to continue, right? Don't just stop there and text me questions. Continue to read down. Number 30. So where are we? Okay, the Marasanox. This is crazy pronunciation, right? Migrated from North America 100,000 years ago. It crossed the Bering Strait and eventually became the cheetah in present-day Africa. What's being explained here is the opposite for human migration in European science is what's going on with the animals. So the National Park Services, they currently house skeletons of this ancient predator. Giant sloth, saber-toothed tapir, and many species of exotic, now extinct animals roam these lands. George William Guest found mammoth bones and artifacts eroding from the bed of the Silver River. See, Florida was a lush tropical paradise even during the stages of North American ice ages. Indigenous cohabiting with these animals is a topic rarely discussed, which will be discussed in the Green Book. What is the possibility that humans migrated with them in prehistoric times and later returned to the land in the same manner? Silver Spring State Park in Florida and the Charleston Museum have extensive research. Both show human interaction with prehistoric predators. These predators also, well, including those that I've mentioned, right? Going back to the saber tooth, it was no, right? The Altamaha, I was asked, what is the Altamaha in number 73, number 37? Uh, if you can remove yourself from the video, just search Altamaha and it'll show you a prehistoric dinosaur that lived in the waters. They consider it the Altamaha because it lives in the Tama or lived in the Tama province. But the fact of the matter is, those river protectors were also in the Chattahoochee, the Ogeechee, the Savannah, all of these different places. Anthropologist Jessie Halligan was breathtaking when she uncovered a knife with sharp edges on both sides. It was used for cutting animals as well as other tools, but these tools were found next to mastodon bones. And again, a topic rarely discussed is human interaction with these predators that are considered to be ancient. Now, 39. She had previously thought humans migrated to the land 13,000 years prior. However, this pushed her date back at least 1,500 years. Skeletons near Topper and Shakuhachi, in Shakuhachi and Hilton Head Island are classified as Wale, Wale African, and Wale Yamasi. Further study will have to be conducted to identify them as being the oldest Americans. Wale is Spanish for the island name by the French who encountered a cacique mayor named Orde by their translation. So let me clarify something that was said to me, right, by someone. They say, well, I want to do what you're doing because you said that your people weren't called Wale. You used that name to teach people about that history. But if you read the book and you understand my work, you'll understand what's been explained. Wale is Spanish, a name for someone else, but this became a general name. If we use the name that we were called, or if we use it in our indigenous tone, you won't be able to find it, which is why we have to resort to European ways of explaining it verbally, right? So names used to identify us are Wode, Wali, Gullah, Talo Giliwi, Talo Gili, Taliga, Ogeechee, Shawanok, Zorbana, Savannah, Yupa'a, Iguaja, Ibaha, Iguala, Yuchi, Ufala, Wali, Gullah, and Geechee, or Geechee and Gullah. Popular towns of the Wale. So we have different towns. I'm not going to read the towns. 46. The Wale language is a classification that does not exist, meaning the ancient ones would not have used such terms. Document of his recording are held in Archivo General de Indias in Seville, Spain. Seville, Spain is the place that they get Guadalcanal from, right? You hear the name, Guadalcanal. Now, Wale is Spanish for Wale, 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 Hold up. They tried to take my mic. We back. They literally took my mic. They say we lost connection to the mic. So the target audience was readers of George Broadwell's 1991 title, The Muskogean Connection of Wale and Yamasi, where he only used Creek words, which further miseducated the masses. One word they used is holada, leader. This word was adopted by Makoma, the Shatta, and the Muskogee from the Appalachee trade jargon, loan words, he took as a form as a of a mother language. 56. This caused confusion among many who previously thought the Muskogee were the elders of the Southeast. 57. The language of the Wale and its dialects were spoken by over 40 plus towns. There are also languages which have taken loan words from Wale Kasabo and applied into Mukwin, Zoya, and Catawba. The Wale language is also spoken in Washington State, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas, Texas, Yeah, they definitely bucking me right now. They not they keep kicking me, man. But I'm back. So let's see. Talk about Florida coast. Okay, Florida coastal Lake Mission farmers are from Santa Catalina del Valle. Okay, that's the ending of that one. Mound building was an art of the Ubaha ancients before the Mississippian invasion. Sand, shell, grit, stone, lime, clay, charcoal, and more were used in their creation. Mounds are animal effigies, like Serpent Mound. They could be people, Poverty Point, temples, burials, ceremonial grounds, and homes. Some of the oldest mounds predate the Mississippian, which are the Swift Creek and the Deptford culture. According to anthropologists, Deptford culture dates back to BCE 800. This is based on wooden paddles, ceremonial items, pottery, and mounds, burial and deposits. Mastering the waterways, this culture spread from the savannah to present day Louisiana. Its influence is seen in Ohio and the Mississippi, reaching towns along the Gulf of Mexico. Birthed from the southeastern woodland culture, Deptford birthed the Swift Creek culture, which gives us the greatness like Kolamoki and Okmulgee. The maps will show the migrations from the coast to the interior before the interior to the coast. Again, all of this will be explained in detail. This just had to be put out in simple form so the questions that I were being asked online wouldn't have to be asked anymore. So if someone says, okay, well, if y'all didn't have corn or y'all didn't have maize, so y'all weren't practicing green corn, that question is now answered. Or well, y'all didn't have maize originally, so it's not a part of your three sisters. That is also answered because we don't see it as three sisters. We have four, maize being an adopted sister. But again, when you read the book, it's simple. It's like everything is laid out in a way that you can take a sentence and go research that sentence, and enough information to come up on that one sentence that it will be enough for you to it'll be enough for you to expand your knowledge or the information that you do currently have. So after these migrations, we have at 82 the Ubaha culture moving into the Chattahoochee and Tallapoosa regions provided nations with new food sources and traditions, unifying the greatness of the East, the West, and those north and to the northwest of them, which is hinting at the next book, The Green Fire from Deptford to the Mississippi. So each chapter contains at least 30 pages of information of what was going on, and it's all confirmed by tribal people. So the questions, again, the questions won't have to be repetitious, right? Um, and we could talk about the invasion next time. I was gonna do 1 through 50. I did 1 through 80 something. Really not wanting to go over that. I only have, well, everybody I sent the link to, I don't think they have a point there to ask any questions that they may have. So let's see. Crane, Omi, how y'all doing today? Peace. What's going on?
Cooler. Same old, different day.
Interesting.
Can't complain when you breathing.
Type shit. So what one that, man? Let me see where you at. Hold on. All right, let me open this floor so I can answer these questions. Let me get the other girl in here, bro, because I don't be wanting to I don't be trying to, you feel me?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
be trying to answer the same question 50,000 times, knowing that I answered it 49,999, bro. This is gonna be my last time answering these questions. If especially if they're repetitive.
right.
We got somebody in. Okay. Peace. What's going on?
I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Let me see if she Brian. Let me take this down. All right. That's who on the screen. Um Yeah, Reese, questions, bro. I know you had a lot of questions, so I'm here up moving. So whatever questions you do have, go ahead and drop them so we can answer those for you and we can clarify anything that you may be that may be a little cloudy to you.
All right. I only have about three of them. One question I had was, it said something about there was a war that happened. It was
I
like a
need you to
hundred
read
years.
it. I need you to read the numbers for me. It's like
I'm gonna try to
when you
pull
got
it
the
up.
question. Say what?
Let me pull it up right quick.
Yeah, I need you to read the numbers for me and then ask the question. That'll help us. You know, that help everybody who anybody who may watch in the future understand what's going on.
Give me 1 second. Pull it up.
And book one, number 83.
So that's what it is. Number 83.
Yeah, look around 83. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's saying I don't think this is it. I think it was something else. So I know it was talking about. It said that the Lenape went around destroying some of the mounds and cities.
All right, what number that is? So read the number to me. What is it? 98. So read the number to me and ask the question so I can answer it for you.
And yeah, Lenape destroyed mounds and cities of the valley in order to cause a major battle. The Confederate people, after a 100-year war, divided the Ohio Valley amongst each other.
All right. So
So,
what's the question?
what was the 100-year war? Was it the Lenape going around like destroying some of the cities and mounds, or was it like something else?
All right, perfect. So if you go back, right? If you go back to number 93, if you go back to 93, or if you go back to 89, it explained it, right? And now I'm gonna read it from here so it can go on, so it can go in procession, right? Um the Mississippian period. So during the Mississippian period in the Ohio Valley, the Tagili were invaded by the Lenape and the Mingwe. As told in the Walla, they were promised land in the east by their creator. Asking to settle, the Taligas denied the request while allowing them to pass through. The original crossers became known as the Blackfoot, Arapaho, and Cheyenne. Alerted by the numbers of immigrants, the Taliga attacked the strange people, sending them back across the Mississippi. The war happened because they crossed over the land and had more numbers than they actually stated that they had. That's why the war happened.
All right, so that war just lasted for 100 years of them fighting.
In small terms, we'll say yeah.
Hmm. What was another question I had?
Say it again.
I'm trying to look for the second one I had.
Oh, okay. When you write down the question, put the point next to it so you know where to go. It'll make it easier.
I know that one was really the really only question I had, but I thought I had a second one.
Okay, okay, okay. Who else did I send a link to? Um, Cause who else did I send a link to? Uh, oh well, I didn't really send it out to nobody. Hold on. Let me see. Cause if I don't get no more, I'm hopping off. It's Saturday anyway. You already know what that mean for me.
Oh yeah, it was the question. It was talking about during
Right.
the new harvest. It said there should be no violence. If there is, then y'all will hold them and punish them in your way. But he said that type of punishment would be seen as inhumane in today's time. What would be like the punishment for that, like in ancient times?
Death.
Yeah.
Uh,
Death. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Facts. And the fact that we answered at the same time, same vibration, that should let you know. So when things like that are people do heinous things, right? And it's and if it could bring everybody down by the way that we handle it, we'll just turn you over to them crackers. That's what we gotta do. We'll let them do it. Cause we do it, it's gonna be worse than what they'll do.
Hmm.
So that's just how we handle it. In certain instances, when it's blood, blood can't escape it. So
Right.
when the people that's not blood, we do the best we can. If it's to the point where they gotta, you get what I'm saying? We'll just give you to the people that you supposed to been with anyway. Because if you was a real tribesman, you wouldn't have did that heinous shit.
Right. Right.
It's really the only two questions I had so far. I still got like 11 more pages left on it.
Say it again.
But I think that's the only questions I had on it so far. I only got about like 11, 20 pages left on it.
Okay. And point in book one.
Yeah, I got to
In book
finish
one.
the social. Yeah, that's all the other ones for the book 1 and 2. I'm on the social and ceremonial practices right now.
Oh, oh.
No good. Let me see. Who here? Omi, can you hear? She might be in the background just vibing. Where's Shayla at? Shayla probably delivering babies. She probably got her
Yes,
gloves
I'm here.
gloves on. How you doing today?
Right.
I'm good. I'm still looking up my own stuff on 108, um, with the C bands traveling to Cuba part. So I don't have a question yet, but
Uh,
that's
I
where
got
I'm at.
something for you. If you can, let me see if I can find the name of it. It's a PDF. I'm referencing this PDF or referring to it in my green book. Um, let me see if I can. My book's been messing up. It's two. One of them is it's called Out of Florida. Out of Florida, the examination of I can't find it in this phone. My other phone dead. I don't know. But as a matter of fact, I'll DM it to you. What it's talking about, right? They talk about canoes that's like 7,000 years old that were made up here in Florida, the Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas that's been found in the Caribs and in South, like, and in South America. And what they found is they found out like it's a genetic connection that they found or whatnot. But they're basically the writers, right? The scientists, the anthropologists are saying that their new theory is that people or that humans people the Caribs from where we from, as opposed to coming out of South America. So I think that'd be something that you would like to look into.
That ain't new. We've been said that.
We've
Uh,
been saying that, chill out. Come
I
on
keep
now.
saying we
We've
left.
been,
My family left North Carolina to go to Panama and in the Bahamas and everything to come back to North Carolina. But
and, mhm.
that's same reason. That's exactly why I'm right there. So I'm matching that to my family records and our stories, what's been proven, what's been hearsay. That's why I don't have an actual question yet.
Right. I think I send you the screenshot where they was talking about the mounds in my neighborhood, right? In my hood.
Yep.
Um when I sent you that, like, they was like it's certain groups of people that made up the hood. They say it's American Negroes who claim to be Indians. Then they say it's the Bahamians, but the Bahamians are the original Seminoles. They just came back after the war. So like there were certain, like, you know how we know material culture, that shit still exists in our family, right? We still do shit that they was doing, and it was
Right.
able to crack some codes for them. Like, damn, so that mean they been going to the Bahamas. Like, yeah, we been on that, but it's nice to see them talk about it. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's see who else we got. What she say? It's a I sent you the link. I definitely sent you the link, Kitty Fire, so you can join and ask your questions. Uh, that way I can answer them to the best of my abilities. Because I don't know what language you're talking about. Let me go look at 58. One moment.
I don't care nothing about those people.
58.
I don't
58.
give a
Oh, she said her voice isn't up the part. Can you mute? Who is that? I need y'all to mute real quick. Whoever that was. 58. Let's see. The Wale use symbols to communicate messages, though it is not acknowledged as a written language. So the language that is shown in one of the pictures is the language of the Wale. Which picture? There are a few pictures in the book, so I'm asking like which picture. That way I can answer that for you. What I did yesterday, I definitely posted on Instagram. I posted one on Instagram, posted some on Instagram to do with the art, but it has the actual meaning. If someone actually could break it down, they'd be able to translate it. The thing is like I say, like Europeans are used to scripts. So if you don't have a script, they don't consider it to be actual language, which is crazy as shit. Let's see. So the picture of the clans, which picture of the clans? Which picture of the clans? That's a great question too. So which picture of the clans? Like I'm really trying to understand what's going on. Because probably not. Probably not. Let me see, man. This is why I like when I know you sick, but it would definitely help me. Um, it'd definitely help me if I knew exactly what you were speaking on or talking about. So let's talk about like symbols and shit, right? So again, and their issue was this is a symbol, it's no script. This is the problem that people like the dude Pharaoh had with the hieroglyphs. Like, oh well, I can't translate it because there's no script. It's crazy as shit, right? So I don't know. Now, who you are, not what you accept. Okay, perfect. Ha ha. No, that isn't the script. Nah. That's just that's an example, but it isn't the exact script. That was a great question. So if it was verbal, I'd have been able to get right to it. But no, that isn't the script. That was a great question, though. I would say it's something similar, but that's not it. Let's see. Other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? College football come on at 12, so I'm trying to answer all I can.
I had a question about the Hapu games. Um,
Talk to me.
so were these games like basically like the Olympics or something?
Hell yeah.
It said
Hell
like
yeah.
if a family lost too much, they'd just be a part of a bigger family, so that'd be easier for them to win. So
Nah,
like,
it's cause shit. If you can't win in Hapu, I'm Hapu, right?
mhm.
Or ball game, a ritualistic ball game, and war are okay. Are seen as one and the same, right? Hold on, give me 1 minute. Let me help my wife. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Two more seconds. I said 1 second. 2 more seconds. Hold on. All right, so Hapu, I know what we was. So ball game is the little brother of war, right? If two families were beefing, in order to stop the boys from dying, the mother would say they got to play ball. So this is why you would notice in a lot of indigenous languages, ball and game or ball, game, and war are the same word because they considered the same mentally and spiritually. So if you get your ass kicked 2 years in a row, you get your ass kicked 3, 4 years in a row, you technically can't defend yourself. So you got to go up under somebody's family. What happened was during the Mississippian era, they started to do this with towns. So when towns started to lose, the whole town had to be incorporated under another town. So ancient towns started being what? Subordinate to towns that were younger than them, because the towns that were younger than them were bigger, stronger, and faster in every sense of the word, spiritually. When it came to building, when it came to war, when it came to agriculture. You get what I'm saying? So everybody that was not fucking with that system was outside of that system. The only two people that was able to survive outside of that system for real was the Wale and the Kazabo, who damn near one and the same. A lot of people started to take on that Mississippian aspect of ball game. First, it was family. Then it went from family to being tribe. Then it went from tribe to being town. Then bitches saying, fuck it. If the Confederacy lose, the whole Confederacy got to become what we call Yama, right? And then you got to become a part of the Green Corn Festival. So the Yuchi had a way. The Yuchi were the priests. The Yama were a part of the warrior. You know what I'm saying? The warrior class. So when they played ball, being that they were some of the best, why? Because they the ones who come from South America. When they was playing their ball games, they was skunking niggas. They was whooping niggas' ass. When they got to the Southeast played a different type of hapu, or we had a different type of war. Our war was called Cowhead, which would be explained in the Green Book. In the Green Book, it's 11 men on the field, and only one person can have the ball at the time. You can throw it, you can pitch it, you can kick it, you can toss, you can do whatever you want to do with that bitch, but the ball can't hit the ground. That come from over here. So that ball game was a ball game that became what? Football. So
Oh
we
shit.
dominated them so much in our own ball game that there was a separation in the North and the South. Niggas from New York play what? Niggas from Ohio really play what? Ball. They play basketball. Niggas play baseball. When you get down to the South, it's soccer,
That's
football,
supposed to be ass. So
play
was it like one of
basketball.
those type of sports?
Right. So all of these different games are family games that were used to control politics. They were used to decide war. They were used to decide who even got certain agricultural fields.
Something like what we do today in the hood and shit. Instead of just
Type
fighting, they
shit.
just play basketball.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's family. So this, you know what I'm saying? That's basically what it was, how it was. And again, it was used to stop people from going to war. Like it's the mothers who thought of that because men wasn't thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? It was we going to war. Women like, hold on, we can find a middle ground for that. But then again, men messed it up because what? When niggas had to go to on the field, they started killing each other. So the grounds was tainted. So you know what I'm saying? It's not sacred ground no more because you supposed to been playing ball in the ground, but now y'all actually killing each other in the ground during harvest. Cracker shit. Europeans. You get what I'm saying? Fucking Europeans, man. But yeah, ball game is very sacred. It's very sacred. It's a lot that go on before anybody can even play the game, right? Before they can even play the game, it's certain rituals and different things that they have to master and purge themselves of before they can even step foot in the field.
And so like the totem poles that everybody used to talk about, so those are basically like leaderboards then.
Right.
Yeah. I would never expect that.
But it's too cold down here. Say it again.
So I would have never expected them to be a leaderboard.
Oh yeah. That's basically not basically, but that's what they are, though. That's what they are. And a lot of they show who in the town. So you come to a town, you see the bird at the top of that bitch, hey, this bird family either founded this bitch or they the big people in this town. Everybody else not subordinate to bird, but bird is the big people in the town. Everybody here not subordinate to the Paul, but the Paul family got the town. Everybody in here not subordinate to the Huff family, but the Huff family got the town. That's their town. But what is their town built off of? Their town is built in the coordinates to their tribal government, which every tribe had what? Tribal government. So the tribal government approve of certain migrations of certain people that can happen. but that town is still under what? The big town. This was the issue that many was having during the Mississippian era, because they felt like, wait, how can we just go from the town to a confederacy, but in the confederacy, it's about the confederacy and not the town. That was their issue during the Mississippian era. We didn't have that problem because everybody understood. Oh, they did that. They paved the way. That's who the town, that's who the family is. And every town is subordinate to this town. But what do you mean subordinate? Does anybody know what that means? What it means is somebody would have a final say so. So each family has tribal elders, right? Reese, your family, you got elders in your family, right? Your
Yeah.
elders would speak on behalf of your family. But that would be for that town. And every other group of elders in that town or spokesperson of that family from that town would have a voice. That changed during the Mississippian era. It wasn't about that no more. It was the Confederacy. What the chief say go. The chief give out. The chief get to choose who go here and who go there. And you get what I'm saying? It was no more about the family being centralized. It was more of a centralized confederacy. So that's the overall change. So number 43. 43. Let me slide my chair. Hold on. 43. This is book one. We only in book one. Hold on. 43. All right. So let's see. All right, names used to identify us are Wode, Wali, Gullah, Talugiwi, Taliga, Taligi, all those different, right? So it says, so although the Yuchi have different migration stories, there's an original group that is Wale even in Tennessee. No. Now, let's explain this. We were called these different names because Europeans called people different names, right? We were called different names because these different names also come in different languages. The Tennessee Yuchi are not Wale. The Tennessee Yuchi are not Wale. The Tennessee Yuchi are not Wale. When I open, I say, to make ancient things modern, you tend to cause confusion. What Europeans did was they started naming ancient people by their own modern language. So the Tennessee Yuchi, they migrated from Easter Island. Now that I've put that out there, now niggas are starting to say that they come from Lemuria. This is fucking insane. Don't ask me, but this is what's going on now. So they come from Easter Island. They land in South America. When they got to South America, the Yama or the Yamasi were already there. That's where the Yamasi come from. The Yuchi mixed in with these people. They then traveled further east and they came amongst islands, but there were already people in those islands. They then left the islands about 2,000 years ago and they traveled up through the Savannah River. When they got to the Savannah River, they seen relics and things of people that were already there. So they kept going. They say they didn't see anyone, but they seen relics. Here's the dagger. Their claim is that only the Lenape were here when they got to the southeast. But the Lenape say they didn't get to the southeast or they didn't even cross the mountains until the 1300s. So somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. The Tennessee Yuchi have a story that they are the priests of the Mississippian era, and they are correct. But what they never tell anyone is that they too are descendants of the Olmec. This is why they give credit of mound building to the Olmec, because the original word for Olmec is what? Yama. The Yamasi are the, right? But in order to tell their story, they have to take credit from the original people that was already here. So you have people that were Wale that were here that became known as Yuchi, but they weren't Yuchi. They may have been Zoya, children of the sun, but so were the Tennessee Yuchi also Zoya or children of the sun, because this is someone speaking. The Yuchian language is a trade language, which they admit. And with them admitting that, someone should ask the question, well, where does the term Zoya come from? Whose language is that? That suffix on the end of that language, ha, that seems Suan. If Yuchian is isolate, why does it have a Suan suffix in it? Why do the Yuchi have a word Yupaha, but they don't remember living on the coastal lands called Yupaha? These are the questions that should be asked to those people. The Yuchi don't know about Kofa Techekwi, but Kofa Techekwi and Yupaha were the same town. But the Catawba know about it, the Watery know about it, the Wokan know about it, the Wale know about it, the Yamasi know about it, the Tamukwa know about it, the Appalachi know about it, the Hichiti know about it, the Oconee know about it, and I know the Oconee know about it because Yupaha was across the water from Oconee. They had to go through Oconee to even get through Yupaha. So the Southeast understood that this was the land of Yahola, or Yahola's children, or Yahala's children above. But those on the other side of those fucking mountains ain't no shit. That's why they call it Cave Landa, because they came out the caves when it was safe for them. It was not safe for them for a very long time until the Yamasi came back and seen them and said, oh shit, they're my grandchildren. That's when it became safe again. It became safe after the Lenape invasion because what? The people that was on the Yuchi ass originally wasn't on the ass no more. So they can come out and they can party with the Lenape and they can party with the Iroquois, right? And they can party with the Haduswani and they can party with the migrating waves of the Muskogees that started to come in. And they can party with the Siouan people that left the east and went to the north, who became known as what? Yuchi, those who are ashamed. So again, all of the original people are ancient people. Once we start putting modern names on this shit, it become confusing because everybody I named was just what? Called by each other name, by the Europeans. So, said all of that to say, the Tennessee Yuchi are definitely a different group. No Yuchi have the same migrating story. Even with the Wali, not all Wali have the same migration story. Not all Yamasi have the same migration story. Not all Mikosuki have the same migration story. When people again begin to understand how tribes are built, they will understand they have their own story. So your family migration story isn't my family's migration story. It's your family's migration story. What Europeans do is say, well, her family told me the story, so this must be the migration story of the people. Cracker shit.
See, I did have a question about the different coaches, but I think you might have already answered. So the only difference between them was like the shift in power. That's what separated them, and that's what like
Shift
led
in
into these
power,
coaches.
migration, right? That's the thing. That's the key thing. 'Cause I know you interested in that green book. That's the overall key theme is migrating peoples shift cultures. Migrating people shift cultures. If I do something one way, or my sister does something one way, and she comes in contact with another woman, women admire each other more than men ever could. Women actually love each other. So they begin to take things from each other and incorporate them into their daily lives or into their ceramics. So this becomes the change, right? But this change is how Europeans start to classify these time periods, which I will begin to which I will begin to unravel. Is that hey, all of these time periods from Deptford, Swift Creek, the Mississippian, these are all named after places that came into existence after the ancient people had already lived there for hundreds of thousands of years. So Deptford is named after one place. It's named after a specific mound site. But the whole culture is called what? Deptford. Why? When the culture didn't start at Deptford. You have Swift Creek. It's named for one place in Georgia, but it's not limited to Georgia. Then you have the Mississippi, but the Mississippian era is not limited to the Mississippi. But then we go back to the Arctic areas. We go back eras, right? So it's a science that's being taught that has to continuously be pushed back when dealing with the ancient world. Cuz, what's good? Hiyoko,
Hey, okay, kid, what's going on, family?
all is well. It's in the blood.
You see?
It's in the blood, man. Yeah. So that's basically what that is. You need me to catch you up, month?
Yes, sir.
Shit. Long story short.
Trying to put this. Okay, here we go.
Long story short. The first question was, Reese asked the question about the invasion. He wanted to know why the invasion happened. I went back and read it again to show him that the invasion, or the war, excuse me, the war happened because they lied to us about their numbers, right? Um, excuse me. Um, that Lenape war up there in the valley. The second question we got was about like the language and stuff. I explained that we had a written script and we still have symbols that can be translated properly, but they're not seeing it. They're not seen as a language, right? Um, what else we had answered? The Yuchi. So we talked like this right here. Although Yuchi have different migration stories, there's an original group that's Wale, even in Tennessee. So that Yuchi is not that, right? But we know about the Quali up there in Virginia and Tennessee that had the town Potecaligo, right? So we understand that while having people up there in those areas, they and the Wale are not the same. Uh, they in the Talogiwi or the Tahoe Wale, or people change it up on their dialect, the Tagora, right? It's Tagora, Alabama. So um, they were the original people. The Yuchi came into the land much, much, or the Zoya of Tennessee came into the land much later. And when I say much later, I really mean much later. So yeah, if y'all got any more questions, I'm still here to answer them. I'm finna send this link out some more.
We
Um,
on we dealing this the Q&A for the Blue Fire.
yeah, book one type shit. Oh,
I'll book.
you said you got two jobs right now. Shit.
Yeah, I'm on my way to another one. But I'm about to go grab a bite to eat or whatever. So I got to
Okay,
and
okay.
I got a little time. My phone battery. I ain't charge it this morning. So
Yeah,
Type
so I'm
shit.
about to get up out of here. I gotta go see my great granny and them's people.
Yeah, go do that. Handle your family business, yo boy.
Yeah, 'cause I ain't seen these motherfuckers in a long time, so I gotta
but
go
you
ahead.
said we on book one though, right?
Yeah, we on book one call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I ain't,
say what?
I say I don't have no questions about book one. If I do, they highlight it. But
Okay,
I ain't got the book with me.
okay. It go. I did this one on the strength. I'm definitely trying to have it more formal to where they can read the question to me and answer it like that. Kind of how Doc used to. You get what I'm saying? Keep that shit flowing. You get what I'm saying? Because eventually,
I think I did have a reference point to book
talk
one.
to me.
That I think me, you, and Red Crane already built on. But since we in here with the family and everything, uh, there the information that comes up in book one, um, if the family wants some type of uh visual of how the earth looked at a certain point in time during certain time periods, and how the southeast came to be as far as the people wise, and how long, and in reference to how long they have been there. um Book one mentions about a short reference about the what was it, the salt mines or something like that up in New Mexico,
Right.
and
Down,
how
yeah.
long they have been around. Well, they have done archaeological research, and that will help us know that, or it confirms that the southeast was not covered by ice during the
Right.
ice age, the last ice age, because they have information, footprints and fossilized evidence that shows that the southeast was inhabited by people and species over 50,000 years ago.
Base facts. It's wild how how it's put together, but the beautiful thing about that, he say, send me the. Hold on one moment. Say, okay, cool. Later. Um, Thing about all that. Who's this? Very interesting. Thing about that is when I did the work, because topography was on my mind the whole time. The thing is, to master this, you have to know how the land looked, how the land was. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, cause I got it. Okay. So you and I both know the land was much bigger. Let's say 18,000 years ago, right? With the South being much wider than it was, what tends to happen is, again, nobody looks at topography. Nobody is saying, damn, just look at Florida in itself. You can dig in Florida, you got limestone that's still wet. But when you go to Georgia and Carolina, you have the similar type of land, but there's something there that scientists have just found, which are what? The Carolina Bays. So 20,000 years ago, like you said, the South was still tropical, about a 4-degree difference, but it was active. And being that it was active, and Europeans like to focus on what? They like to focus on dead shit. The cold. You feel us? Ice age. Dead shit. But it's because they're not a tropical people. So when you and I say, yeah, y'all looking at Carolina and this the Wale, you and I know it's hundreds of miles of that land that's underwater right now. This is what I mean by Wale 50,000. Only masters can teach this, not somebody that's just standing on the shoulders of giants. Only masters can teach this science. And you pointed something out. Many people not even noticing that first book is pure science.
Correct. Pure science.
I might have a couple typos here and there, but guess what? That make it even better. It's more authentic, right? Somebody say, well, you ain't say Wale right here. You said Wall. It's the same thing, baby.
Right.
Same thing.
Hmm. Hmm. Mm-mm.
Oh, you said you spelled Uchi with 2 O's. The same thing, sister.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want, bro, my whole goal for this book is for people to say, I could take this to my family and we can start learning about indigenous history
Right.
while learning our family history. as opposed to saying I'm gonna learn the indigenous history as my family history, then go back to my family and teach it to them. It's crazy.
Mm-mm-mm. It's heinous.
Definitely. So she says, I'm really interested in learning loan words, jargon, etc. I really want to restructure my mind to think more in tune with the languages. You just got to do it. It's like Crane told y'all before. Y'all got to be like Nike. Y'all just got to do it. It don't matter what language you learn and learn one. Learn one. Attempt to learn one. Try to put some sentences together. Learn your favorite words. Learn numbers and colors. Learn people. Learn family members, right? Things like that so it can make sense when you start to look into these other languages. Learn about the food, the words of the foods. Because if you learn the words of the foods, then you find them in other languages, you start to find relations between the culture and the agriculture. Hint, hint. Let's see. Only got one person on here, so I'm vibing. If y'all vibing, I sent the link out.
Yeah, I'm vibe. I'm just waiting until something for me to chime in on.
It's Saturday. It's gonna be a vibe. It be our night bills that be crazy.
Right.
Definitely be the night bills that be crazy. But it's all good. I'm almost done with this green book. I gotta get. I'm put it up on the 6th. Start doing like pre-sales on the 6th, so I can start getting them shits out. They should be the people by the 12th. It says so I can get Hichiti lessons. Then facts. The Mikasuki actually have free Hichiti lessons. Um, but it's Mikasuki Hichiti. It's still Isa. Um,
Right.
the Yamasi have their own branch of Hichiti. If you need that, I could actually send you the dictionary because I am the one who reordered the dictionary into alphabetical order in the Hichiti language. Uh, I definitely did that, right? In Yamasi Hichiti, um, I definitely did that. So I could send you that because that's my work, right? But if you want like the classes, oh yeah, let me promote that too. The Cherokee, all these federally recognized tribes, they actually have free language classes. All you have to do is find them in time and sign up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I should be able to open y'all can hear, yeah, I can open another page. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. 'Cause I know the Shatta definitely have one. Uh, let's see. Let me see if I can find some tribes for y'all that have language classes. So the Cherokee have a free language class. I'm going to drop the website. See if I can drop the website inside of the the chat. Let me see.
Yeah, they got a YouTube channel for the Cherokee language.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, the only word I know, the only word I know is Osio. That's all.
Hell no, chill out, man. I ain't messing with you, bro.
Hey, boy, that language is tough, boy. I'm
Is
telling
it?
you.
Is it?
That one tough right there, bro.
Like, why the hell y'all words so long?
I do not know
Cuh.
why the words are so long. You know.
Nigga be speaking he cheaty. All I gotta say is shati. Shati mean
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
red. Yeah, speak Cherokee. Yeah, it's finna say Giguya.
Mm.
Wait, hold on, wait. Why so many?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing? Let me see. So post comment. Where did I do that at? Hold on. Let me try.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, let me drop this link. So this link that I'm sending on YouTube is the Cherokee. It should be the Cherokee language. It's the Cherokee language website. The Navajo, the Muskogee have a free program too. The Lakota, the Hopi, the Chickasaw, the Ojibwa, the Yuchi. So those are a few people that have language programs. Hold on, let me drop this real quick. And this is the one for the Yuchi. All right. Say, is it online or in person? Okay, so these are actually online. So what I'm sending y'all are online classes that you all can take. So like for instance, with the Chickasaw language and with Shata. But with Chickasaw, what they will do is they do like streams. So they'll have a stream yard like this, but their platform bigger than mine. So they'll run a what is it called? Um Wow, the word is on it. It's literally right here in the middle of my forehead. But a seminar, that's what they do. Since they have a bigger, they have a wider base, they can actually do seminars. So they'll do a seminar about 100, people, and they'll have the class on the seminar. So everyone can learn together for free. So, are there any other questions concerning the book or anything else that I can answer before we get out of here at, let's see, at 3 more minutes? Shayla, you have any questions? You can send them to the chat. I answer them on here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Greetings, greetings. How y'all doing?
all is well,
Cool,
beautiful
man.
auntie.
All is, all is.
Hey, good. Good to hear y'all voice, man.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been a
Likewise.
long time, Auntie. It been what, about a month and a half?
It seems like yeah, about a month and a half, something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we just been toning up over the last few weeks since the Blue Fire came out and just making sure that we could get that knowledge in.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's all right time being late, but I was in a deep meditation and I couldn't and ended up falling asleep.
That's that good one, boy.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. It's good. Good.
That's what and me and Young Boy was talking about. We were like deep, deep down, yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Oh man. Oh,
I don't have any
Let me
questions
see.
about
Excuse
this,
me.
but
Yeah.
so that link that you sent, that's you said that's for Cherokee,
What?
right?
Yes, this one right here, the first one that you'll see in the comments is for Cherokee. Uh,
Okay.
when you go back on the video, just click live comments and it'll come up. You can like skip to like a minute 20, an hour 20. It'll be up there.
Okay, that's what I saw. That I was, because I was reading a lot of the comments. So I saw it.
Yeah, so you got Cherokee, Uchi. I end up what I will do is I will do create like a note and I just put them inside the note and send
Mm.
Okay.
them to you, so you can have them together.
Okay,
But they
dokie.
they, they do all have classes for the Uchi. What the Uchi try to do, because they're reconstructing their language, they try to have smaller classes. So you definitely got to find those like on Facebook. So even though they got the website, finding them on
Mhm.
Facebook or their classes on Facebook would be a way to get it out.
Cool, cool. Hey, Mont, what's that word you said can you say that word again, please? The word that you know, the only Cherokee word that you know. Well,
I don't know,
I'm
You
cuz
probably
what
talking
the
to
carrying
word.
me?
something up some stairs right now.
Yeah, that what it
All right,
is.
you said when I say
oh, yeah, what does that mean?
it just mean hello, greetings.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I only know that word because every time I call down there trying to get information on my ancestors' territory, they be like, "Osio," I'll be like, "Co, what's up?"
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Well, at least you picked up on it though. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. They be playing
Mm.
around. They don't be wanting to give me no information though, but
That's all right. You gotta fake it till you make
I got
Right.
to. Got
it.
to.
Okay, we have a question in the comments. We have two questions. So I'll answer the one I read first, which is in the private chat. It says I had a question about women chiefs. Did women make all the decisions, or was there a balance between men and women at times? Women made all the decisions. Yes, the male elders or the men that were elders had a voice, but they always deferred that voice to the clan mothers, right? Cause you can mute for me. They always deferred that voice to the clan mothers. So if a decision was made and amongst the elder woman would be the judge. It's not would be, but is the judge of the family, right? So she'll make, okay, yeah, we doing that. Nah, that don't make no sense. So even though there was a balance because women ran the politics, right? So it's twofold. Yeah, women ran the politics, but when it come to war, even though mama made that decision, that war was fought by men. So that was the balance, right? Some sisters joined in, but it was right. So it was always twofold. That's why I try to speak on it that way. Like, yeah, all of the chiefs or the chiefs of the families, the real chiefs were the mothers, were the clan mothers. When Europeans came around, in order to show a sense of force, the man took the big seat because Europeans didn't want to deal with women, and women didn't really want to deal with them. Um, yeah, so the mothers had the big voice. The men had some say, but yeah. Let's see. The next is 68. Can you explain more on the depth work culture? So this is what I would do, right? I would give you all she said so it was basically just mounds, but why in those regions and in that position? So let's talk about the depth work culture. I'll do this much. I'll give you all a bone, right? I'll explain something about the depth work culture. Um, And hopefully it answers that question, right? So the origins of the Deptford culture. The Deptford culture was first named after Site 9CH2 in Chatham County, Georgia. It developed around and from earlier woodland period societies. Pottery production, mound building, and organized trades are marks of the Deptford period. These ancient societies, including those in the areas now known as South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and the Ohio Valley, were engaged with their environment. The birth of Deptford culture produced a notable shift in the complexity of social organization and material culture. Distinctive art and pottery, elegantly decorated and crafted, as well as the characteristics of the burial practices, which involve intricate burial mounds, marked a period of uniformity. Preceding cultures, such as Middle Arctic and Late Arctic periods, were declining at Deptford's emergence, all having a range of trade networks that spanned vast distances. Essential exchanges or exchanging goods like exotic materials, salt, shell, copper, foodstuffs, and mica, as well as fostering relations that would form societies of the region. So the Deptford culture wasn't just about mound building, but the Deptford culture was about a pottery style and a social organization and trade networks that expand the coast of the lands. So when people talk about stewardship or coast guards, the original coast guards were known in the Lenape language as, or excuse me, in the Yupaha language as Diwali. Diwali are the coastal people, those who inhabit the edge, those who border the land, those who inhabit the border, all of that good stuff. These people and their ceramic styles, their mound building, and their social organization, it stretched many lands. The lands that it touched eventually created another unifying organization, which became known to the Lenape as the Shawnee, those who live in the place of moderate heat, those who live in the South, those who inhabit the southern lands. This was the Swift Creek culture. When the Shawnee went to war with the people that were invading the Mississippi, this became the foundation of the Mississippian era. All of this will be found in the Green Fire book. The packages for the Green Fire book, the packages for the Green Fire book will be $80. The book alone will be $60. The packages will come beautifully like the others, but they will have more. So you will receive actual gel pens, green I can't give that one away. It's a secret, right? So you still receive beads, but you get double the beads along with your book. You'll receive green gel pens and a green tassel. There's another surprise that will come in there, part of that package, and that'll be available on 6/6. So let's see. Another question. Another question. Another question. Let's see. And the other. Oh nope, we didn't have another question. So those are the two questions that I did have. Um, but why in those positions and regions? So I think that was answered to Deptford culture, as explained in book one, is giving you an overview of what Deptford culture is. It's for you to actually go research and say, okay, damn, this map right here shows that Deptford culture was only on the coast, but some of their relics have been found in Texas. Some of their relics have been found in the Ohio Valley. So this map or this projection, see where I'm going with this? These things are a lot older and they are a lot larger than what Europeans claim them to be because, again, they're working on their science. Let's see. Questions. I stay on the 45. I can do 45. My team ain't playing today. We 11-0 with the bye week, so I'm bulling. So in the chat, may y'all drop, let's see, two more questions for me if y'all do have them. So I can be able to get those out the way. All right, so no questions. So I'm out. Thank everybody for tuning in, for joining in. I'll be back on later. I'll probably do a part two today. For numbers 80 through. I should be able to do that before I get out the house. So I'm gonna let the music take us out. Much love.
Love you. Love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Love, Auntie. Hey, you might check me out. You gonna want to hear my music. I found a new style of music. I'm gonna send you my playlist.
Okay, I got you. I'm tuning in.
All right.
Love you.